Welcome to A Dash of Panache, a journey with my friends and family to explore this unique cuisine called Eurosoul. What is Eurosoul, you ask? Well, it is a fusion of Mediterranean, Caribbean, and soul food flavors. Now, doesn't that sound delicious? Well, come and join me as we look into this very unique cuisine. Hello and welcome to another episode of A Dash of Panache, where we look at our journey of Eurosoul with my friends and my family. I'm just so excited today because we have some special guests that's so dear to my heart. So, sister, why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Noreen Hurd-Shaw, and I'm a freelance chef. I've been cooking all my life. When I'm 14 years old, I've been cooking.
All right, and Monique?
And I'm Monique Shaw. I am one of the producers of the show, and I am Annette's niece and the freelance chef daughter.
Oh my God, this is just like, I'm trying not to hold back the tears because this woman here, my sister, has been such an inspiration for me. Panache would not be what it is today if it wasn't for her. I just words can't even say how much I love and adore the support that my sister has given me through this whole journey. So, my sister.
I'm glad to be here.
Yes. So tell them about those times when we sit around the dining room table, and talk about this family restaurant. And how did this come as a legacy for our family?
My God, we're used to food. All around us is food. My aunt used to cook. I cook. I was the cook in my house because my mom, she would just make something, but she wouldn't explore to the next level. And I would go to the next level because I had a passion for cooking at a young age. I think I was cooking for an entire house at 14. My aunt migrated to New York, and my cousins were living with us in one big house in Jamaica, in Waterhouse, Jamaica. So they were gone to church, and I would have to cook for the entire house. And instead of them spiting me, I was experimenting, cooking everything in the house. I would bake supper, I would make rock cakes, I would cook. Every evening they would have supper. Sunday evening we would have our supper. We would have different kind of food. We would have cooked down chicken. We would have vegetables, stewed this. We would have different exotic drinks. We would have the sorrel. We would have the Ethiopian apple. We would have the tamarind juice. We would have everything in that house. We were poor, but we didn't know that we were poor because we were so happy with food. We were surrounded by food all the time. I used to go to the market. I used to go to the Coronation Market, get the fresh food, come back in, and everybody would just dive in and eat the fruits and everything. Everything was just laid out for us. My cousins, Jackie, my cousin, my sisters, my siblings. Everybody was waiting for the food. I didn't know the food tastes. So they were my biggest critique. Even today, when I cook, my daughter is my biggest critique. My daughter and my husband, if I see them not eating it, I say something is wrong. But they will tell me what the food needs and what I did wrong. Okay. So I've been cooking all my life from I was about 14 years old.
So now you see, you guys see where this passion for food. I was always surrounded by food and the cooking every day in the kitchen. And as I say, now you see why she's my inspiration. You hear that passion that comes out of her mouth. And so we used to sit around at the dining room table, all of us, always something different to eat, always something. And we used to talk about, wow, we one day, I always talk about, one day we want to have a restaurant, a family restaurant. Do you remember that?
I remember those days.
Yes. One day we want to have a family restaurant. And so, I felt it necessary you know, I was the youngest one in the family, and I was really looking to kind of bring her along, but she wasn't at that point to be able to come on board with the Panache.
Right.
You know, but again, as I said, she supported all the way. But the bottom line is that she was the inspiration. And so when I left corporate America, I said, now is the time to start that family legacy, to start that family restaurant. Monique has been my inspiration for the Mediterranean. She was the one who kind of told me about the whole Moroccan experience that she had when she went to Morocco. And she was so excited about that. She shared that with me. And that got me inspired about the whole Mediterranean food, and actually the Eurosoul cuisine started from that. So Mo, tell me about your experience in Morocco, and why was it like so important for us to do that in the food that we have?
So with Morocco, the culture is so rich. It's from way back. It's influenced so many different countries. Their food, the way that they decorate, the architecture. That when I went there, it was just beautiful to just walk through the streets and see all the different colors, all the spices. Growing up, having my mom cook, you know, it just kind of reminded me of what I saw in the Jamaican kitchen, where it's all these spices of cumin, curry, pepper, just all these spices just coming together. And I just thought that, you know, everyone utilized something out of the Moroccan spices to cook, where that creates a fusion in everyone's cuisine. So that's why I came back and I had to explain to her, like, Morocco's it. It's one of the cooking capitals of the world, aside from Paris. You know, it's in Africa, and we need to understand their culture a little bit more.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So, as I said, Monique inspired me to go to Morocco myself. And I'm telling you, I was blown away. Because like she said, a lot of people, when I say Eurosoul to a lot of folks, where I say Mediterranean, Caribbean, and soul food, the first thing goes to people's mind when I say Mediterranean is of course Greece.
Yes.
However, the Mediterranean influence in Eurosoul is actually Morocco in the Mediterranean. So I'm going to educate you guys a little bit. So one of the great things about Morocco is it actually, it is North Africa, and it borders both the Mediterranean Sea. It's one of the only countries that borders both the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. And so they're like one of the origins of the Mediterranean food comes from Morocco. And their influence are the influence to the Greece and the Italy and all that. So all of that originated in Morocco. And so that's why it was important for us to include the Moroccan cuisine as our Mediterranean influence. So, are you ready to show the world our great cuisine in Jamaica?
Yes, I am.
You ready to do some cook down on our seasoned rice?
Aki codfish seasoned rice.
All right.
Ready? I am ready.
So let's get in.
I'm so ready.
So let's get in the kitchen. Welcome back. So we are here in the kitchen with my sister, about to be schooled on the true Jamaican seasoned rice and how we make it. So excited. So I have my son here. who's like the chef, as we said, in Panache, and of course we got her daughter here. So, hey Mo, we're about to finally see, right?
How this rice, how it's made.
How it's made. A lot of time I go,
By the time we get there, it's already made.
it's always already made. There are the food, and it always tastes so good.
Trying to figure-
But it's like she don't, she never really show us
Right.
how.
She don't want to show us.
I live with the woman and I don't know how to make it.
That's right.
It tells you a lot.
That's right. So we are about to learn.
Finally.
Finally, we're going to learn how to make Jamaican seasoned rice. All right, sister? So let's go.
it's
And
pretty easy.
we're here to help you.
Okay. First, we have the oil. I use canola, but you could use any oil of your choice. Put a little oil in. And I'm going to saute all my seasoning, which is the tomato, the
Pass
onion.
it for her. Okay.
Well, put it-
So question, Mom. I noticed that most of the Jamaican dishes that you make have scallion and tomato in it. Like, for instance, when you're making ackee and saltfish, the traditional breakfast, it has that. When you're
Put
making
this.
kalaloo, when you're making kalaloo,
This
you
will-
always add the tomatoes and the scallion. What's the significance of this being a base in most of your meals?
This is a staple base. This is a staple we have in all our dishes. Must have tomato. It enhances the flavor of whatever you are cooking, whether it be kalaloo or ackee and codfish, whatever it is.
That's
we
right.
must use our seasoning.
All right. So let's throw it in the
Put it in.
pot.
So let's put some more oil because the pot is real hot.
Okay.
And then we're gonna pour this in.
Woo. All right. All right. And it's in there.
Some of the scallion.
All right. You
Pour
can
it
put
in.
my son. You can put my son to work. Tell him what to put in there. Tell him what to put.
No, leave this. Leave
Oh, this is good?
Okay.
Leave we're gonna leave a little scallion for the
the
hot boil. So when it
Okay,
goes in. So
okay.
you're gonna throw the onion in.
Okay. Put him to work.
Here.
What we
You
send him to
saute
school
it.
for.
Okay.
All
And
right.
then we're gonna drop this in, the scotch bonnet.
Oh, you put the. Wait a minute. You put the Scotch bonnet already?
Yeah, you can put it in.
Oh,
Because
okay.
everything from this pot is going to go into our rice pot.
Oh,
So
okay.
we can put it in.
Oh, so
Okay.
this is like just the start, like
Yes,
the base
that's the
of.
start. This is the base.
Okay.
So now, what happens if the Scotch bonnet pops while you're sauteing?
It won't, because we're being gentle with it. We're being gentle with it at this time.
Okay.
At this time, we have already soaked our codfish. And this is a codfish with a bone in it.
That's right.
And we also have the codfish with boneless codfish,
Which is over there,
which
right?
is over there.
What
So
do
we
you
can
have?
bend when I'm doing this dish, I like to do both fish. I like to do the boneless, and I like to put a little piece off the bone because I find the one with the bone give it some more flavor. Give it a lot more
It
flavor.
makes sense.
Yeah, that
I
makes
use
sense.
this
And
in
this is what we
We're
in,
used to this in Jamaica. We're accustomed to only this.
that is
We
correct.
never use the boneless.
Until we come here, right?
But I use the boneless because some people don't like the bone in their mouth, not
Right.
tasting the bone and
Right.
spitting
I
it
love
out. So I use that. And
Okay.
then we would have already soaked this overnight, and then we would pick it up, and then we're gonna throw the fish in here now.
Okay.
We're gonna saute.
Saute that together.
It
That looks-
smells so good.
Smell the aroma. It smells so good. You could eat it right now.
and really and truly, like, the traditional, for except cook up saltfish.
Yes.
Basically, this is it right
the
there.
This is the cook-up saltfish.
Yeah.
So this is the base for this rice.
For the rice, yes. The cook up saltfish, yeah.
And the main ingredients here now, we're gonna pour our ackee in.
Which is
That's the ackee. What I did with it, we wash it off and we scald it a little bit with some salt water. We just scald it off because we buy it from the can. You can get this ackee. This is our national
What is
dish.
that term, babe? When you just, what is that term? What is the correct term, like with the hot water when you put in
Hot water, when you put something in hot water.
yes. just
Blanch.
Blanch it. So scald or blanch it, right?
Right.
Yes.
that looks so good.
And then we'll put a little black pepper on this.
Okay, so you sprinkle your seasoning, my dear.
We'll put a little black pepper on this.
So now that looks like the traditional
turn.
ackee and saltfish meal. Now that's what that looks like to me.
Yes.
So all the
And I know how to make that. So that's the first step to kind of
the
make
first
ackee
step.
and saltfish, right?
Taste it right. That's the first step to
Yeah.
ackee and saltfish.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
want to taste it too a little if you want any more spice. Like if you want to put a little all-purpose spice in it, you can put a little spice in it. And
Do you also put the seasoned salt in this, or you
no,
put
I put it in when I put everything in.
in the rice,
Because I
okay.
have to taste this before I put it in.
Okay.
So this is the first step.
Nice. So you kind of like make almost like the traditional ackee.
And codfish.
Right. Now, ackee is, you know, basically Jamaican national dish.
When we saute, we want to saute gentle because we don't want this ackee to be like scrambled egg at this time.
Okay.
We
Got
want
it.
it still plump.
Got
That's
it, because
correct.
it has to
Got
boil
it.
into
To a water.
the water.
Right. Got it.
You
Got
want
it.
to preserve it till it
So
goes
kind
into
of
the
like
water.
what you do with pasta when you want to have it al dente,
Yes.
right? You don't want it too soggy so that, you know, everything's just like
Soggy before
because
your final.
You want it to cook all together, yeah, with the rest of the ingredients.
Right.
Okay. All right. Sister's schooling us now. Even when schooling my
Any
son.
questions?
I have to
Any
learn
questions?
something.
So you gotta learn this Jamaican stuff.
Yeah.
Remember, the main thing is you saute, taste, and the ackee you want to remain firm because it's gonna be here boiling with your rice. So now we're gonna rest this on the side.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We're gonna rest it on the side, and then we're gonna put on our pot with some water. I have 4 cups of water to 4 cups of rice. While the pot is boiling up, we're gonna take half of this. We're gonna take half of this and put in this pot. So it will have a base. It will have, you can taste the ackee base in it, boiling up before we put our rice in and the remainder of the
Oh,
pot.
so you're kind of using like this as like a stock to like flavor
yes,
everything.
to flavor everything.
Oh.
Got it. Got it. So tell us while the pot is boiling, tell us about ackee and what ackee is, because a lot of
Ackee
people
is
don't.
our Jamaican national dish. It is the #1 dish in Jamaica. If you come to Jamaica and you have not tasted ackee, then you need not to come back to Jamaica. You need not to come back to our Jamaica.
So what is ackee
Because
though?
ackee is a fruit.
Okay.
Ackee is a fruit. And you have to be careful too. Some people try to pick it before it's ripe, and it will poison you if you pick it before it's ripe.
That's what I wanted to let you
Okay.
understand. So it's very
It's
important.
you can't pick it before it's ripe. There's a law in Jamaica, you cannot, because sometimes it's in high demand, the ackee, and people will pick it before it's actually ripe, and you should not do that.
'Cause it's
or it will be
poisonous.
It's kind of like mushrooms, you know, like certain mushrooms and stuff. You can't.
And the same thing with like
They're
Japanese
tourists.
puffer fish. There's like
Yeah.
it's poisonous and
Right.
like
You have
Yeah.
to know when to pick
pick.
it and when to
Even-
use it.
Even with a lobster or whatever, you have to know the season for a lobster. You have to know the season
Right.
because they cannot, get them at that time before the season.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ackee now, to tourists, they'll come and they'll ask you for the scrambled egg. Oh, could I have some of that thing that looks like a scrambled egg? Could I look for that? But it's our ackee and codfish.
And
they
it's in a
call it.
fruit, and so we're
it's our
cooking a fruit.
So we're cooking
Very
our-
healthy.
Our dish, our
Yes.
main national dish is ackee and codfish.
All
Sometimes
right.
you can even put a little pork in it. People fry up a little pork in and cook it.
Mom, didn't you
and
used to
throw
put,
it
like,
with
some
the pork.
bacon?
You could put bacon in
Yeah.
there. You
Yeah.
put
I
everything.
love
It's
that.
a versatile dish.
So I think the pot is ready to
All
put
right,
everything
so we're
in
gonna
now.
put half of this in here.
Okay.
Scoop up about two to three spoonfuls. Yeah, go ahead.
So
this
then
is a-
I would just substitute it with shrimp because shrimp is like one of my favorites.
So we want this flavorable. So yeah, so at this point now, I'm gonna put everything in this. I'm gonna put all my other seasoning, and I'm gonna taste
that?
this. This is my all-purpose seasoning.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it
oh, we
in.
need to mix this.
Yep, we're gonna put everything in. And this is another spice all-purpose seasoning. So we have two kinds. One is plain, not too spicy, and it's a little spicy because sometimes when you eat the rice, you need a little flavor in it. So I put a little more spice in it. And then I had the remainder of my
Black pepper.
black pepper. And this is my coloring to make it yellow.
So what kind of coloring is that?
It's a bijol, B-I-J-O-L.
Oh, okay.
It's a coloring.
Nice.
It looks red.
It looks kind of
red.
orangey.
Yeah.
Well, it looks orange, but
Because
when it's in, it looks it's a yellow rice. You ever seen yellow rice?
Right, like
Well,
the
it looks
Spanish
like-
yellow rice. Any more salt?
Season.
Okay.
Season. And you stir that, and then you're gonna put the remainder of your scallion.
Oh, here you go.
And the thyme.
Yeah, put that in there.
And if you have thyme, you could throw the thyme in.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, some people don't like the thyme in it, some
So
people
yours-
like it. So it's optional, whatever you want to do. But I like it spicy. I like this spicy. So at least when you start to eat it, you can taste everything.
So
you can taste.
basically what you're doing right now, you're seasoning the pot.
I'm seasoning
We
the
would
pot.
say we're seasoning the pot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And at this time, you can taste it. Taste the pot.
Yep.
Taste the pot.
Take a
It's almost like
Put it in
soup,
your hand,
like,
taste
you know?
it.
Yes.
Taste it. Put a little in your hand. Taste it.
That's what we
And see
do.
if it
That's how
needs
we
anything.
taste stuff. In the middle of the palm of our hands.
It tastes okay.
Tastes really good.
You think we can put our rice in?
Is it ready for the rice?
A little bit more, I would say.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boil up, okay?
Yeah.
And then when it starts to boil, we'll put our rice in. We'll put the remainder of our ackee in, and we'll cover it on a low,
On the low.
Okay.
very low, and just cover it and leave it there to simmer.
So do we know, like, how did this seasoned rice come about?
I grew up seeing my aunt,
Right.
my aunt cooking the seasoned rice, but I really got the seasoned rice good, the ingredients and the way to cook it from my father.
That's right.
My father, we didn't know that my father could cook in Jamaica because my father has never cooked in Jamaica.
what I
But
heard.
when he came here
I can't
and
believe
he
that.
cooked,
Yeah.
and he cooked the Caesar rice, I said, no, I gotta get this Caesar rice. I have to get this Caesar rice. So I learned to cook this dish from my father, not
Right.
from anybody in Jamaica. I learned to cook it from my father.
So I did some investigation, and it looks like the seasoned rice came about long time ago because, of course, with one pot, it's more cost effective, right? And so
With the children.
traditionally, because we have because we have ackee as our national dish in Jamaica, right? It was available on the trees.
Yes.
Right? And so we could pick some ackee and we put all our things, any protein or whatever, we put it in one pot. So let's finish up this stuff now.
Let's
Let's
put
put
our
our
rice in.
Yep.
Yeah, it's put
Okay.
Rice in, stir.
yeah.
Okay. Stir the rice.
Put the remainder of this and just leave it on a very low flame.
Just like you cooking rice, you know, and you have it's just that we season the water first. You know, when you do rice, you have the water and then you put in the rice.
This seasoning will enhance everything in this pot.
That's right.
It's kind of like the same concept as
Hey.
rice and peas. When you season the rice, you put in your thyme, your pimento, and all of
Absolutely.
that. And then you put in the rice last, and that's when the magic happens.
That's
Yeah.
right. So the magic
Got
is
it.
happening right now. That was, now I know
It's 1, 2, 3.
how quick this is.
1, 2, 3.
I'm about to start making this at home. I know you're gonna make me.
Yeah, man.
I am gonna make you
Yes,
make.
so let it
Now
make
you
it.
can say you can't say you don't know how to make seasoned
Let
rice.
it marinate. And then you put your own thing. When it's cooking and when it's finished, you put your own thing in it.
All right. So next we're gonna be eating. Yum yum.
We're gonna be plating and eating.
So we are here with the favorite part of the show for me is the eating. So right? Yes,
Yes,
we're here
yes,
to eat.
yes.
So we had our Jamaican seasoned rice that my sister showed us how to cook and how to make. Yeah. we now know how to make Jamaican seasoned rice. And so we're gonna what? You're gonna share us up.
We're gonna share you some.
That's
We're gonna
right.
Get down and just eat.
Let me tell you, whenever I go to my mom's house and my sister, she always treat me so good. The food is shared out for me on the plate, right?
Right.
You know, I don't have to lift a finger. She shares out
She
the
even
food.
makes her to-go plate.
Yes, she
Yup.
makes a to-go plate for us. So I get every time, like I said, I go there, I sit, and I get fed well. So I am
She
excited.
does everything. She's so spoiled. She shops, she eats, she have everything when she comes to 900 Magenta.
It's a one-stop shop, huh?
It's a one-stop shop.
Yeah. So what we're having today with our seasoned rice is our Panache sorrel sangria. So we created this sorrel sangria. It's kind of like our Eurosoul drink, one of our Eurosoul drink, because of course it infused the sorrel, you know, the typical sorrel that we have, you know, in the Caribbean and in Jamaica. Tell them a little bit about the sorrel.
Well, the sorrel is it's a festive drink. Every Christmas we celebrate with sorrel. If you go to anyone's house and there's no sorrel, then you just don't stay there. You just leave. You just leave that person's house.
Especially during the holiday.
Especially during the
Yup.
holiday, Christmas
So
holiday.
that means they're
not
not a
just
real
any
Jamaican?
holiday, not Easter, not anything else but Christmas. Christmas is big. We have sorrel with black fruit cake. So sorrel is a staple must in everyone's home.
So that
at
means they're not a
Christmas
real
time.
Jamaican if they don't
If
have
you
sorrel.
don't have sorrel, we say bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, so
Just
the
try
sorrel looks like this, and it's actually like a tree, like
It's
you
from
know,
the tree, yes.
it's kind of like, you know, like when you,
Medicinal.
yeah. So you know, like when you have like mint tree or whatever, it's kind of like that. You know, the actual fruit that comes from the tree is the sorrel, and it looks like this. You know, we actually have to dry it. So you dry it first, typically.
You dry it first.
You dry it first before you actually make it. And it's kind of like, it's almost like wine.
Yes.
When you're making wine, because you have to let it sit.
You put it in a hot boiling water and let it sit overnight. Overnight the better. You let it sit overnight, and then in the morning you would have to strain it, just like the wine process. You strain it. You're gonna strain this off, and then you boil it with ginger.
That's
you
correct.
Boil it with ginger, then you strain it off in the morning, and then you sweeten. You sweeten with sugar. You could add some wine. You could add some rum, Jamaican white rum.
Yup.
White rum.
That's
Must
right.
be added. And sweeten to taste.
That's right.
But it is a staple dish. It's
That's
not
correct.
just a festive drink, but it's also medicinal. It's good for cancer.
Absolute.
So,
Absolute.
question, the
for
Yankee
cancer.
in me, right? Where would I buy sorrel?
You could buy it at the Caribbean market, any local food Caribbean store. You could get
And I
sorrel.
think a lot of the Whole Food places are having it now.
Yes.
Oh, really?
They,
Nice.
they actually call it the Jamaica juice. So it's very filled with a lot of antioxidants, very, very good for you.
Yes.
So we're gonna dig in. We actually made the sorrel as the sorrel base, and we put our fruits as our sangria, and of course our cinnamon and all that we spice up with, and we add some extra wine to make our sorrel sangria. So that's what it is. So let's dig into this. Seasoned rice. Let's see what. Let's see, man. I know it's not gonna disappoint.
Again,
Already
the
know
Caesar
it.
rice,
We
you
already
can serve
know
it.
it.
Again, the Caesar rice, you can serve it with tomato or avocado.
Okay, so well, guys, this is it. We had a great time eating, right?
Yeah.
Most durable part of it was eating. All right, but here is to living life
Life
with a dash of panache.
Cheers, guys. Salud.